Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Whether you're in need of a website, domain or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. So last week I reviewed the cheapest 35mm scanner readily available on the internet. And a few of you seem to like to see me suffer. So I'm back again, this time with the cheapest 35mm camera. So let's get into it. So I actually bought this camera back in March for the whopping price of $11.99. And already, I have to say it's been a great investment because even though it's just been sat in my drawer, it's now selling for $14.99. Pretty great investment, pretty great return. And I haven't even made a video on it yet, so just wait until the price skyrockets. So this seller has somehow already flogged over 1,000 of these cameras, which is just quite insane when you think about it. That's actually quite a lot of money. And I guess if that many people have bought it, maybe it's actually good. So let's take a look through at the specs which he's provided in the listing so we can get to know this little beauty a little bit more. Definitely one for the lomographer is this all-plastic Suntone 35mm film camera. It requires no batteries, is completely manual and has a fixed focus 35mm lens with a 1/125th shutter synchronized with a flash hot shoe which allows you to clip any flash gun to this camera. Simply load with 35mm film, not included, point and shoot. It's brand new and comes with its instructions and a wrist strap. Last image was taken on one of these cameras using a Fujifilm Superior Extra 400. I have a limited number of these, so get them new while you can. Limited numbers? They've sold over 1,000 already, that's a bit ridiculous. So yeah, I guess it really is just a chunk of plastic which takes photos, so let's go take some, I guess. Alright, I can't pretend that I'm not shocked that these photos didn't come back perfect. They're a bit hit and miss, and all of it pretty much comes down to two different errors with the photos. Either they're out of focus, which is kind of explainable because nothing in this camera moves, so there's obviously one set focal distance with the lens, and they don't tell you what that distance is, so I guess you got to do this dummy roll to kind of figure out what that might be, and it turns out it's around about like a portrait's distance. It's actually quite close. I was imagining it'd be a lot further, and that's why I ended up taking a lot of landscape photos, which now are all very blurry. And if by some magic they're not out of focus, well, that's where problem number 2 occurs, and that's the exposure. Some of them pretty much just came back black, and that's because you just need a lot of light to work with this camera. I used an ISO 400 film. Still, some of them need a lot more light. It's definitely a camera to use on a sunny day when you kind of trust that there's ample light. So the thing I found most interesting about this camera was the fact that it has a functioning hot shoe on it. And this means that you can stick some cheap flash gun on top of it and you can kind of enhance these nice low-mo style photos that you're taking. I had other plans. I thought it'd be a great idea to plug this in to my strobe and use a really overkill flash using a wireless transmitter on the hot shoe. So I rigged myself up and went and took some photos at night. And the flash ended up eliminating one of the two problems. You don't really have to worry about your exposure not having enough light when you're really blasting it with an extremely excessive amount of strobe. However, the focus was still pretty problematic. But hey, what do you expect? It's £12, or 15 now, I guess. It was never going to be tack sharp anyway, was it? If you're buying this camera expecting amazing results, the blame's definitely not on the camera, it's on yourself. I do actually think this camera could be capable of taking some pretty cool photos. Now that I know that the focus distance is pretty well aligned for portraits, and that it works really well with a strobe, I'd be really interested in fitting up like a softbox to it and taking it out and doing some on-location shoots with just this. There is like a weird aspect of using a really janky lens that, I don't know, I think it could look quite ethereal and nice. I mean, maybe that's a future video. But for now, I'd just like to thank Squarespace for making this video possible. Squarespace is an amazing all-in-one platform for everything to do with websites. Whether you simply want to buy a new domain, you want to start a blog, maybe start a new website for your business, maybe a photography portfolio, or an online store, Squarespace can do all of these things and much more. It's super easy to build a professional looking website, and there's an amazing amount of themes to get you started. You definitely don't need any prior web building experience to build a really professional looking website. And having a website, in my opinion, is pretty vital. Whether it's a portfolio for your photography or video business, or it's for something completely different. Having a website makes you look so much more professional and really helps to show off your work in the best way possible. So, if you need to build a new website, definitely check out Squarespace and use the code negativefeedback to get 10% off your order. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Go and get a lovely website. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully, there's going to be another one next week, so onwards and upwards.